Hello, in this video, I will be explaining how the price action is plotted on my Jacobs Ladders levels so that it is easier to navigate and find trade setup. These levels are published at the morning 4 a.m. for pre-market levels and at 10 a.m. for regular trading hours level. As a combination, they often give you a very good price map for the trading action for that day. So yesterday, for Friday, June 19th, was a very good example for finding different trade setups and navigating that price structure. But first of all, I want to remind that this is not a trading advice, or sorry, this is not an investment advice, and I'm creating this video for educational purposes only. So I always start watching the levels from starting from pre-market, even though I'm not normally awake till 9:30 or 9 o'clock New York time. I live in the West Coast, but it is important to understand where the price journey started. So then there are two other things that I want to explain. Going to my Twitter profile, there is a link there to my documentation about how to use this level. And once you click that link, it will take you to this sample trading strategy here. And there I have explained for each one of these level interactions, the levels always have two ways of interacting with them. For a resistance level, first it gives you a short trade setup, and then if the price continue to break up, then it is actually a validation for continued trend up, and then use it as a long trade setup. So this is very well illustrated in yesterday's trade. So I will be using this as a reference point. So I go to annotate panel. So let me go back to my trading chart there. So first one is here. This is level high that went resistance couple of times. So this is what I call the very first test and the continued second test as a resistance. So to compare that against, I have this list of all my levels, and here I call it as blind test of first. Blind test is blind trade means first test from below as resistance, and then second test is continued resistance because the price is revisiting there, and it is still exhibiting resistance there. So now let me go back to my chart again. Now it is breaking up here. So there is, at least now we know that this is third time it is trying to break up, and it is actually stay away time. But the next test is about level high, which actually sold pretty good the rest of the day. So this is the trade that sold all the way here, and that started from this pre-high resistance there. And on the way back, the level that was resistance before, it offered some support, and then the next level is here, the major level that also bounced a little bit first before it went as a resistance. Then here there was no support, it just crashed and burned. Here there was initially not support, but when the price started bouncing, it started from this point, and it actually went back to that the scene of crime where the price literally dropped out of thin air. This was supposed to be a reaction level. But as you can see, if you put some stop over here and here, you get different buyback area there. Another way to think about is that you can plan in advance. I may buy one unit here and another unit here with the objective of getting my price at least averaged out at the midpoint. This happens a lot in my level system. So it's all about planning in advance. When you see this level chart, if I trade here and knowing in advance where would I get out, or do I get out right away, or do you feel bullish about this tape and then you want to wait and add at the right place, not very quickly. And then this is another classic setup where the price bounce back, but on that, when it bounced back, this place actually became a very strong resistance. And this is a very classic pattern. When price first dropped from a previous major level and it sold all the way back, but it bounced, and that actually gives you a very good next you know short setup entry. And again, the extreme level RTH came, and that gives a very good bounce back, which again went resistance here, and it continued to sell. So it just gives you some areas to watch for exactly using that level system, and help navigate that price structure. But if you're a trader, day trader, there are many ways to day trade this. Some people like to catch the entire day's move and stay in the trade back and forth, or some people like to just catch some points and then call it a day. I mean, that was at the top, where it was resistance. This move from top to the bottom actually gave pretty good pullback to make somebody's day there on a Friday, or an initial bounce here. But if you did not catch that, then there was no resist. There is no, if you're not already in a short setup from there, or the second short setup was right here when the price continued to bounce back, but it actually went resistance right here, and then it started to sell again. So I hope this video helps. And if you have any question, you can contact me on the contact page that is listed on my in my website.